Well, everybody, spring is right around the corner, and what better way to celebrate than pitting our two friends, Mark and Ryan, against one another to debate some topics. Of course, one of those topics is going to come from a listener via a meatball suggestion, and then at the end, our trivia questions come via video submission from some of our friends as well. You've submitted topic ideas in the comments via email, phone, even carrier pigeon, and much more. We've selected one to add to the mix. That will be our Meatball of the Month, and those winners get a prize in addition to the fame. This month's package includes a Diamondback HD 10x42 binocular, a podcast hoodie, $100 Vortex apparel package, and that wonderful cameo from Mark Boardman. As always, we love the comments, so let's see a few from the last episode. At Exodus19, if y'all cancel this podcast, then I say we organize a sit-in at the Vortex building. We would love to see you out here. And I'll come, look at this, at Namataku, I'll come all the way from Finland to support you guys. A worldwide effort. Noted. At Boondoggen, Beers with Mark sounds like a new podcast that needs to be made. Doesn't even matter what it's about. And at Sauerkraut Jr., is Spaghetti Shootout rigged? Next, you're going to try and tell me the Harlem Globetrotters games are scripted. No. And we only have a couple episodes left this season, so keep dropping those comments and meatball suggestions. We love seeing them. And that's it. It's time to exit the Caveat Corral for the big shootout.
Unbelievable.
Welcome to Spaghetti Shootout. I think this is a great time to start. Some things have happened prior to us filming. I don't know if any of them will be able to be released or ever shown to the public. But for once in our lives, actually over the course of however many years this has been, we have always been keeping our good friend MC Ryan waiting in the pre-roll prior to actually finally starting an episode. But we can actually say proudly this time we were ready before MC Ryan. So that also, me pointing it out to the public may also have released toxic gas in the room, and
I really don't like the way any of this feels.
We shouldn't push his buttons.
Particularly, speaking of pushing buttons, I don't like the way that +1 feels, Jim.
You questioned me and how I would do my intro. How long have we been doing that?
Well,
I'm a professional.
when you started the intro the first time, when MC Ryan wasn't ready, you didn't welcome the people back, and I thought we should welcome them. I think that's a cordial
I would say that I have a pretty good track record of welcoming people to Spaghetti Shootout. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Welcome back to this lovely thing. Welcome back, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Mark's a little nervous.
I obviously don't want to engage in this conversation any further.
Right. We were accused on our last episode of perhaps being a tad dull, so we're going to try and crank it up a notch for you this time.
Dull?
I think I saw one comment.
Dull. Dull.
That was the only one I paid attention to, naturally.
Yeah.
So we've got some stuff. I think there's there's probably a meatball. There's always a meatball. So be sure that you're submitting those meatballs. Hey, this season is an extended season, by the way. We've got a couple of more episodes, so this is not the last one of this season. And then who knows from there?
The extended cut of my own personal hell, Jim.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Welcome, everybody.
Where are you on the roller coaster today?
Oh, man, it's been a little up and down. I didn't really have any more coffee than I normally might, but maybe it was a little extra gassed up. I don't know.
Well, you
but
sure
now
woke up.
I did this, and I think now we're right here.
You sure woke up on your high horse here, thinking that you were, you could do my job for me.
Again, I declined to proceed.
He doesn't need the negativity.
I don't need the negativity.
All right. I'm just hoping that you came ready to play today. I don't really remember a lot about the last round other than that I'm guessing Ryan won, so we're going to have Ryan start. And it's make it, take it, just like on the playground. What is topic number 1 going to be? You guys ready?
I've never seen these. Go ahead.
All right, topic number 1. If you could have one superpower to use for hunting, what would it be? Ryan, go.
Let me tell you about this, Jim, because I used to fantasize about this power as I would sit in the deer stand in northern Minnesota, about 20 miles northwest of Red Lake. To have the clairvoyance or foresight or knowledge of where the nearest deer of a particular size class was, and like a little tag floating over that deer with the distance to the animal and that, so that I could just walk to that point, walk up on it, and shoot it. That has been something that I have thought would be interesting to have for ruffed grouse, for pronghorn, that score over 80 inches, giant mule deer, turkeys, all of these things, knowing where they are, how far they are, and what they are.
Okay. Interesting. More on that in a little bit. Mark.
Jim, I think what Ryan is describing is a drone. We have those now. Jim, I'm going with a classic, and I think this one is unbeatable. I'm going with the power of flight, similar to that of a superhero you may call Superman. That guy can take
Really
off
boring
like
superhero.
a rocket. He can get anywhere. Imagine the ground you can cover, the scouting you could do, the stalking you could do in silence. Oh, you wonder what's off that glassing point up there? Well, maybe I'll get a bird's eye view while I'm heading to it. I get to that glassing point, I glass something up with my other superpower, which is actually binocular vision, Jim, from Vortex Optics. I'm not saying, that's just one we already have. We all have that right now.
I see. Actually, I'm going to give you a point because now I see what you're
Thank
getting
you.
at. Yes, yes.
Heaven
we
forbid that I
manufacture a
weave in the
superpower.
products that we sell here.
Yep, very good, very good.
I mean, ultimate ground coverage, ultimate stalking, ultimate packing your animal out. You're not going to beat flight.
I'm going to give Mark, because actually I do see what he did there. It took me a second. I'm so used to Mark being indecisive. I'm going to give him a couple more points. He's down 1 to Ryan for the binocular. But you know what? You can just be happy with what you got, Mark.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
That's the case.
Unless you're me.
I still want to know, I'm curious, one, Ryan,
Yep.
you hunt with a high wall,
Sometimes.
45-70s,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Yep.
It seems like it's going to make things boring for you.
This is
Just
again,
seeing everything already without having, there's no mystery anymore.
Not
It's just,
necessarily
there it is.
seeing it. It's just the tag is
No,
floating.
yeah, just, yep, there it is over there.
So think of it like on your GPS when the arrow orients, and it's like
You want
distance
that,
to
huh?
target. I thought that would be, as I'm sitting there, again, the first deer stand I ever sat in, I think my dad was worried I was going to fall out of it and die. So I was like 6 feet off the ground on this clear cut, and I saw exactly 0 deer for 4 years.
I'm sure you were standing on a secure 2x4 at the time. at least.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple 2x4s in there, yeah. Woven between the crotch of a tree.
Strong wood.
It was reclaimed. I don't know where he got it. And I just thought, boy, it'd be interesting to know how far away the animal is and then have to like walk up on it. And I used to think like you'd be walking and you see the yardage ticker decreasing as you got closer. There'd be this anticipation building, the sight of the animal.
All right, well,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting. I just wonder if it would really do it for you.
If it'd be rewarding in the
those
end.
2x4s get stronger the more that they have writings from previous projects written on them too. Also, Mark mentioned flying would be silent, but it would be you flying. So 100 feet above the deer, they'd be hearing, doo-doo, sorry, I didn't get that. When you don't know how to use your
or
iPhone.
just-
Put my phone on. I overshot it.
Okay, topic number 2. Mark is going to start it. Ryan is up 1 point, 10 to 9. Should we revive extinct animals? Now you can take this question sort of, I think, beyond the yes or no, wherever you want to go with it. I'm guessing that there's sort of a why, maybe what animals. Use your own creative liberties. Mark, begin.
Jim, no, we shouldn't revive extinct. What?
It's the same start every time.
Okay, I'm going with no on this. Why don't we focus on the animals that are here right now? Maybe the
Okay.
animals that are in decline. Maybe the animals that are dangerously close to extinction. Why don't we focus on them? Ryan, you know I always like to bring up my home state of Washington.
You're from Washington?
Yeah, a lot of focus on bringing back wolves. I wonder what the very few remaining woodland caribou thought about that move. Oh wait, they're gone, they're extinct. Maybe if we would have thought about them a little bit, we'd still have those critters right here. Everybody wants to rewild and hey, let's get a mammoth and let's get a lion here and lion there. let's focus on the here and now, the species that we still have left, the ones that we can save responsibly.
Wow, Mark.
And for 5 cents a day, you can contribute to Mark's Save the Wildlife Fund in the state of Washington. That's really interesting, Mark. Just to play the contrarian, excuse me, I think it would be awesome if we had the ability to do that, if we could make Jurassic Park a reality. Think about passenger pigeons. They would fly in flocks of millions.
That is what I was thinking about.
And
First thing that came to mind.
It's an interesting dichotomy because you think about ecological niche, and then you think about resources and what would they displace. But could you imagine gazing upon a flock of passenger pigeons that took a day to fly by? Well, the brain can't even fathom that. To bring them back, to see them in flight would be incredible. And then the hunting implications. I'm thinking Irish elk. This gigantic cervid, 8-foot antler span, huge moose sized or larger. Oh my good Lord. Could you imagine hunting those things? Bison latifrons? Oh, take it away.
Sure.
Yeah, ladder ferns.
Very nice, gentlemen. Mark, that was, you displayed some passion, some decisiveness. I didn't hear you jumble a word, so honestly, it was less even what you were saying. The substance
I was shocked too.
was less important than just the delivery, and for that, you got 25 points. Ryan just has 22.
Did you want to do it again? Another take?
Yeah, no.
Are you sure?
This one's fine.
That was a 1 of 1. Okay, let's move on to topic number 3, shall we? Ryan's going to start this one
So we shot
off.
a couple takes earlier today.
And yesterday.
Pardon me for wanting to get it right.
Okay, it's a meatball. Darius G. via electronic mail. Thank you. A very strange genie has appeared and grants your opponent the ability to have one thing magically appear from their belly button on demand for the rest of their life. What is it and why? Ryan, please begin.
I'm going to tell you right now. It's a hand from somebody Mark doesn't know. And it grabs his hand.
No touchy.
But I did it and I'll do it again.
I know you will.
At random, Mark is sitting there just doing Mark things, And then all of a sudden, one of them just reaches out and grabs his hand.
You know what, though? Well, no, you said it was a stranger's hand.
Yeah,
Eesh,
you
yikes.
don't know whose hand it is. And you know what? It's got a
I'm
Does it
actually
change every
curious.
time?
I'm
it's
actually
got
curious.
a different wristwatch on it, different nails.
I'm curious where you were going to go when it wasn't necessarily a stranger's hand.
Well, I'm just I'm used to these.
You know what you're not used to? This one.
Yes, exactly. I don't know why you insist on doing that.
Because it's so great every time. It's a stranger's hand. It reaches out of your belly button and touches your hand when you're not thinking about it.
All right.
Fairly benign. I think I could get used to that. Boy, Jim, for Ryan, I am going to send him through life with a blessing and a curse. And what can come out of his belly button at will is ice cream. He loves ice cream. But think about that. You're like, man, I'd love a bowl of ice cream. I could have whatever ice cream I ever wanted in my whole life right here and now. But it's going to come out of my belly button, and it's going to be a mess. It's going to melt. It might even stain your shirt. And there's always that lingering.
Does it come out in a bowl, or is it just straight,
No,
ice
just
cream?
bloop.
You got to find
Yeah,
a
you got to
container
do something
quick.
for it fast.
And there's
It's happening.
there's that thought always just looming in the back of your head. Boy, this is delicious rocky road, but is that lint?
That's a lot of calories, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's another thought he's going to be thinking.
I'm going with ice cream.
I can
on that.
make an ice cream sundae out of that situation. I personally don't feel you can rectify the stranger's hand.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Ice cream was unexpected. The hand was good. 32-31. Ryan's back up 1.
2 times today, thoughts have entered my head that,
Twice.
Only twice.
well, that I
It's 11-20.
that to me would have been like extremely funny, but were not spaghetti shootout appropriate.
Would you like to
We got to
whis-
have a spaghetti shootout after dark.
Like there, because the head goes, and then you're like, So
Could we bleep it out? You can say
no, I'll tell you guys after.
it. Okay. like those videos where the moms put the cameras up and then like, I'm gonna leave the room. You could say one bad word.
Here's the deal. I know Mark, and so I know whatever it was hilarious.
It was
He's gonna
two
get
good
a point.
ones. It really
He's gonna get
was.
a point for the extraordinary censorship. So we're tied up at 32. Hey, Darius G, thanks a lot for that one. Don't forget, you can also be a meatball. Darius G is gonna win some sweet stuff, and that's because he took the time to send us an electronic mail. You can also do it via Instagram or, I don't know, whatever else.
What a cool name. It's got like a good ring to it, you know?
Darius G.
Yeah.
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 What do you think his last name is? Or maybe G's his middle name, and it's actually Darius Gregory, and then he's got a very bespoke last name as well.
Darius.
It's right up there. Right? His last
Garfield.
name is Amal.
Mark. Oh man.
Look at that, huh?
Wow.
Off the clock
that's
with a
free.
zinger.
Don't
You know
call
what
it a
that's
comeback.
called? That's called free jazz, man. You take that.
Mark is now up 1 point, 33 to 32. Let's get going before any more of these accidental points happen. Topic number 4. Ryan, you started that one, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Mark,
Oh,
you're going to
great.
start this one. If you had to choose yourself or your opponent to represent planet Earth in a meeting with the aliens, it just the aliens. That's all the material you've been given.
I'm so
Who
sorry.
would you choose and why? Mark, please begin.
Jim, this is a big moment for planet Earth.
It's huge.
And it can go one of two ways. A lot of pressure on this one.
First impressions are everything.
It can go good or bad. And frankly, because of that, I'm going to send Ryan to go talk to the aliens. He's going to use some bigger words. You know, that could be a pro or a con. I don't know. Maybe that would be... Anyway, I think that's the play there. He's a better shot with a pistol if he needs it, if things go south with this communication. And you know what? If it goes great, he can be the hero. But if it doesn't go great, then he gets to be the villain and ruin it for everybody.
Okay.
It's pretty good, Mark.
Well, there you have it.
I'm going to pull a classic out of Mark Boardman's hat and give you 2 scenarios, James. First one, aliens are hostile. I'm sending Boardman. Not because I'm putting him in harm's way, but because when he goes up to these hostile aliens,
Oh, disarming?
correct? Okay, his regular demeanor in public. If anybody's ever met Boardman, it's like, hey man, what's going on? Yeah, cool, man. Oh,
Not
dude.
very threatening.
Yeah, dude, totally. Oh my God. I caught that wave. It was sick.
I don't surf. I've tried a couple times. It didn't go well.
Yeah, so I send them, if they're hostile, I send them Boardman.
But you're not going to know.
You look at their ship, if they've got lasers hanging on it.
Oh, really?
Dude, if it looks like the ships from Independence Day, you know they're not here for a good time. They're not here for tea and crumpets.
Let me ask you this.
Please.
Describe Mark's alien ship, a very disarming, non-threatening man. He's going to have lasers on it.
No.
No?
No.
You don't think a guy
turn
like-
signals at best.
I think anybody would put lasers on their ship.
It's not even
okay,
street
if they're
legal.
non-hostile.
If they're non-hostile, I would absolutely go out, meet these folks, show them around, talk about resources.
okay.
Give him more time. We kind of interrupted his whole
Yeah,
thing.
you get like, I don't know, like 10 more seconds. What else are you going to show them
No,
other than resources?
talk
And then
about-
if they are not,
Give him more time.
if they're, you were
Yeah,
going to
he
say
had
your
enough
other
time.
If
side
they're
of it.
hostile, I'm sending you because they'll be like, this is what we've come here to conquer.
Yes, we've addressed that.
Yeah. If they're not hostile, if they're looking for trade, if they're looking for resources, we're going to strike up a deal. I'm going to figure out what their galaxy has to offer us in terms of minerals, in terms of resources. I would like to know a little bit more about their technology. How did they get here? Where did they come from? What can we do with that? We're going to make a deal.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. You could have gotten more points. I mean, you were coming up with good points. It's just that you came up with 2 options.
Yeah. Yep. Classic Boardman.
Yeah, it honestly.
Yep.
So now people can see it's not a me against Mark thing. It's just you got to play the game right, all right? And if you play the game the way Mark plays the game, you'll lose. And Ryan just played the game
And you'll
the way
notice
Mark
I'm
plays.
1
And
point down.
he's down 1, 39 to Mark's 40. So
I would
big.
say the ratio of when I play the game incorrectly usually leaves me in a far greater deficit.
Well, I think that what we're seeing here, and I almost said it verbatim. I was trying to beat around the bush a little bit. I used the word incorrectly and the phrase the way Mark plays it sort of interchangeably.
they are one and the same.
Yeah. So let's see how you two choose to play in round 5. Ryan is going to start. That's right. There it is. Stress your opponent out for 60 seconds. Okay, here.
I'm keeping my hands over here.
There is a limit. There is a limit on physical contact of 5 seconds
Yes.
of that 60.
You. I'm not touching you.
All right, begin.
Okay, so if I was going to stress Mark out for 60 seconds, unquestionably, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay hands on him. I'm going to touch his face. I'm going to touch his mouth. I'm going to touch his things. But if I really want to get him fired up, I'm going to look to this camera and tell them what I know about Spaghetti Shootout and Mark Boardman and how he does, in fact, play this game. I'm also going to talk about how Mark has, over the years, gotten into the opportunity to run so many interesting things in the field. But I can't do that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Wait, so you just said, okay, there's a lot of ways you could stress Mark out, but you can't.
I can't do that.
So you're not doing what you've been tasked with doing.
To tax our friendship over this. Mark can do his best. He can try to stress me out. I've hoteled with him. I've driven with him. I've hunted with him. I'm very tolerant. I can't do that to Mark. He is a gentle butterfly.
Okay, I see. Wow. Mark?
Jim, I talk to Ryan nearly every day. We talk about guns, firearms, hunting. I generally seek his advice. How I stress him out, though, is we expound upon these things for hours, and then I come back to him and tell him that I'm going to make the complete opposite decision that he has suggested, and I let him know why. The other way I might stress Ryan out, yeah, you can't really implicate yourself, can you?
You can do it. Go ahead. It doesn't bother me.
You have no morals or standards.
I certainly do.
Costanza. Go full Costanza on him.
I don't know, that's all I got.
I was in the pool!
He's difficult to rattle.
Here's what.
Even if he's rattled, here's the deal. Even if he's rattled, he refuses to show it.
I'm gonna give Mark some ammunition here. To Mark's point, one thing that drives me up a wall about Boardman is he'll ask my advice. That's correct. I will lay it out in as clear and plain. I will support it with facts. I will give him strong data points supporting not my argument, but my theory on the topic.
And then 3 years later, I'll say, you know what I think is a good idea.
Or he'll consult somebody who actually doesn't know, but has higher social clout.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
because
more followers.
Yeah, and that person who may be bought or sold by somebody else tells them, no, this is what you got to run. That person doesn't know how it works.
Without a second thought, he just follows.
And like this. And then
It's not true.
it is true.
It is not true.
I can give you examples. And then when the wheels fall off, as predicted, he goes, fix this for me. I have to go.
Tomorrow!
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what stresses me out about that? It's not that I have to do it, because I enjoy doing it. Every time I
I think
touch,
he does.
every time I touch one of these things, every time I fire around downrange, every time I configure something, I gain data points. It stresses me out because if he fails, it is my fault.
Correct.
Yes.
I have a question for everybody in the room, including the audience. Does Ryan incessantly touch my hand because he thinks it bothers me, or because he likes to do it?
Both.
Okay, fair answer.
I don't get to give you physical contact. We don't hug.
Yeah.
I watch you hug other people all the time.
Who's he hug around here?
When he goes,
never hug.
when he goes to trade shows and people see him, Boardman, oh my God, how are you?
Okay, Ryan, that's a person that you genuinely like as a person, and you're seeing them once a year. I think that's customary. I think if you and I were hugging every day, that would make myself and everybody around us uncomfortable.
I don't think.
No,
see
that's right,
you
though. I
every
get what you're
day.
saying,
I
because
don't
somebody that
think-
you see once a year, you treat really wonderful, you hug them, it's really great, and then somebody you see every day, you basically treat like dirt.
No, that's not it at all. I'm saying if I walked in the door and gave you a hug every day, that would be odd.
For who?
I think everybody involved.
You think it would be odd for me? I think that.
Okay, we'll
may not-
start this experiment. We'll start tomorrow.
Well, I'm good. I don't.
No, Jim.
But, I mean, we can-
Jim, I insist now.
Hey, I mean, just like, hey, heard you got a new gun. Nice. No, it's good. Okay, all right. It's fine.
No, you insist.
Ryan, you ended up. I didn't award any more points after the whip crack. I felt like you should have gone with what you did. You ever see 8 Mile? It was a little bit like the last rap cipher that you just did there. If you would have led with that, I know everything he's about to say against me. Mark, you're into the hip hop.
Yeah.
You could have led with that. It would have been pretty solid. And then he would have just been standing there, not knowing what to do.
You mean
his
me
real name's
actually-
Clarence?
Me actually saying those things?
The things that you said after
Yeah.
the whip crack? Yeah, if you would have just led with,
Oh,
yeah.
we could
No,
all-
I'm not going to stress him out. I know what he's going to say to stress me out. That would have been,
Yeah, that was a good point. That would have been a good tactic.
yeah.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right, though. That is how he would stress you out, and how he does stress you out fairly frequently. I think we're rambling.
Yeah.
Ryan has 48 points. Mark has 45. We've got some trivia, so it's not over yet.
Oh, we'll see.
Are you guys ready?
Is it not over yet, though?
It's not over yet, Mark.
Are you throwing in the towel?
No, of course not.
Okay, so you're still in this. I still have a worthy adversary.
Of course.
Come at me like you're going to kill me.
Come at me, bro.
Okay, I'm going to regain control here for a moment. We went to WHCE, which is Western Hunting Conservation
This is
Expo.
the turkey show, Jim.
I lied. We went to NWTF, which is the National
Wild Turkey
Turkey
Federation.
Federation.
We went to both.
We went to both.
We did go to both.
They were
yes.
concurrent. They went on at the same time.
That's just it.
Yeah.
So this was NWTF, excuse me. And we recorded a few questions from some of the people who were hanging around the booth, so on and so forth. These questions are going to be asked to you as trivia. You guys got your whiteboards ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 1, what's up? Lee Ellis from Seek 1.
What is the scientific name for turkeys?
All right, let's see it.
Gosh darn it.
Is it? Are you worried about spelling?
Well, no, but I had another. Well, yeah, I am actually.
Okay, we're at the clock hits zeros. You got anything, or are we just gonna flip them? Let's flip them. Let's see it. 3. Oh, all right. Ryan concedes, and Mark just wrote
I had
turkey.
a thing, but again, sometimes my mind goes. Then I made a thing out of it, and I couldn't say it. I'll tell you guys after. I'll tell you guys after.
The answer, and honestly, I think spelling could have been an issue. Is pronunciation might even be an issue here. Meleagris galapavo.
Nice.
Anybody
I didn't have
behind
that
the
one.
fourth wall feel like I had any pronunciation mistakes? Anybody in the audience?
What was it
If
again,
I
Jim?
like I said, if anybody can correct me on this, please do. Meleagris galapavo.
Jim, you're dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't Google that.
I feel like I just had a.
That's what it sounds like. It
Conniption
sounds
or
like you
something.
have something. You know, like if like, sir,
So-
you've
He's
been
got that
diagnosed
melliitis.
with. Yeah.
He's got the Galapagos.
It's a wash. You both got it wrong. Actually, in fact, you're both going to lose a point, just because it's my rules, my game. Next one, question number 2. This is Ted Zangerly from the Hunting Public. Is it
Strong
Zangerly?
mustache.
Is that? Yeah.
Only male turkeys strut. True or false?
Is that how you say his last name? I never knew. It's got the. It's one of those ones with a L-E on the end, and it could be Lee, or it could just be. It just could just end in O.
Oh, yeah. That's a Mark question.
Ted, please.
I think you said it right.
Okay. Okay, let's see him. Flip the boards. False and false. You are both correct, so you're both awarded 3 points. Some hens strut too.
Seen it.
You seen it?
I did.
Oh yeah.
I was hunting with Wyatt Cole in Missouri.
I was waiting for this story. I knew you'd have it completely, vividly packed away in your...
It was a wild morning. This was a cursed Avian X decoy, now discontinued. Coincidence? I don't think so. We had a bird, the hen came in first. She was the recon element to this whole thing. The tom came full strut, 200 yards across this clover field, screaming his noggin off, starts physically assaulting that cursed Avian X decoy. The hen is in full strut, just standing there. She's not doing anything. She's just posted up. My shotgun is laid on the ground, and Wyatt goes, he's like a foot away. He goes, "Are you going to shoot that thing?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "It doesn't have a beard." And it had like the worst, it had 3 strands that were probably about 11 inches sticking out. And so I started blasting. I shot him. The hen jumps straight up into the air and lands like 30 yards away. I go collect the bird. The hen stays in full strut the whole time. Wyatt and I took pictures of that bird, and she just stayed there in full strut.
They discontinued it?
Oh, the Avian X decoy? It's cursed, 100%. I threw it in the free bin over in the lunchroom.
It seems like it can lead to a pretty interesting story.
That was a cursed decoy. Rick had the same one. He knows it. He knows what's up. Mark has the same one, I think, but he's had good luck with it.
Yeah.
Noted. How about the next one? Oh, this is one of those instances where we're using a font and capital I's look a lot like lowercase L's. So I think this is Josh Ilderton.
How about that?
Sounds right. That's right.
From The Untamed.
Got a question. What are turkey snoods used for?
Let's see it, gentlemen. 10 seconds. 5 seconds, Mark. 1 second, Mark. Which? You're really writing a novel over there.
Well,
why don't you flip them? Sexual display, erectile tissue. You really made me say that on...
Can I rewrite what I exactly wrote? That
Can you just... No, I want to see what's there.
I'm going to need to tell you what it says.
I would like... Can you show? Can we show the class, please? Define... Yeah, you're going to have to tell me what that...
Define mood and attract females.
Well, all right, let's see. The answer, according to my card here, mating. Females prefer males with longer snoods. I feel, okay, you got at that, and you got at that. So, yeah, okay, well, you both had the idea. Yeah, we're both going to get it right. 3 points. Ryan has 53. Mark has 50. And Ryan loses a point, though, for just making me have to say erectile on Spaghetti Shootout unexpectedly. I didn't wake up this morning thinking that was the thing
That
I
would
was
be a
gonna
shock
say.
to anybody, Jim.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how that occurs there.
Yeah. So, how about this one? Todd Graff from bowhunting.com.
How many degrees is a turkey's field of view?
Ooh. See, now with Ryan losing that point, if he gets this wrong, Mark gets this right, Mark, you could overtake him. 2 seconds, Mark. Flip them. 270 degrees. Mark, you wrote almost 360 degrees. Well, how much is almost? I mean, you could call 270 degrees almost 360 degrees.
Okay.
If you were talking about a professional snowboarder trying to land their first 360 or something like that.
Okay.
You'd say, oh, they almost got there, but I mean, all right.
Okay, do you want me to?
Can you just give me a degree? A number. N number.
340.
Hate to see it. Mark loses a point, Ryan gets 3. It was, in fact, 270 degrees.
Son of a bee sting. That's fantastic, Ryan.
Know thine enemy.
The wild turkey.
You know what? He'll still probably win. They always seem to.
Who? Oh, the
Turkeys.
turkey? I thought you were talking about Mark.
Yeah, no.
Who
People
is a
know
bit of
the
a
answer to
turkey.
that question.
A Jake.
Yes.
That's the thing with Mark, though, because sometimes he pops off, man, you look out. Everybody thinks, when we're on the topic of turkeys, that the Tom is going to come in and rule the roost. Mark has been with when we did the Learn to Hunt, and the Jake mob was out there. Mm-hmm. Those Toms run for the hills. To give my opponent Mark a tip of the hat, being a Jake turkey that's a formidable enemy.
Yeah, that's more of a gang, though.
Yeah, there's like 12 of them.
I wouldn't put it past Mark to have a gang.
Well, there we have it, everybody. The result. we all
Ryan,
expected.
55, Mark, 49. Ryan, give us your last crack. Let's hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, turkey season is upon us, actually, at time of this recording in some of the southern states. For those of us in the northern latitudes, it's time to bust out your diaphragms, slates, wing bones, box calls, and start the preparatory work in which we audit the condition that they're in. We practice our noises in front of our spouses and get ready, excuse me, for turkey season. On your diaphragms, audit those. If you've had them for like 5 years and they've been rolling around the same little case, probably a little crusty, time to get them refreshed. Also learn what side of your mouth you blow out of. That was the biggest tip that I was told in trying to figure out how to use a diaphragm call correctly.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
And thank you, everyone, for bearing with us through yet another episode of Spaghetti Shootout. There will be some more to finish out this season. And once again, don't forget to be tossing out some meatball suggestions so these guys can get more fodder to go back and forth on. Anything else? Nope? Okay, sounds good. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Fun times.
So fun. We have fun. It's fun.
It's fun.
We
Fine.
like this.
I'm fine. Everybody's fine.
I haven't seen you since yesterday. Give me a hug. Come on. I thought you wanted a hug. Real quick, I'm gonna give you a hug. Come on. Here? Yeah. In front of our kids? Absolutely. Perfect. Why not? Oh my gosh, it's me. It's just my phone. I missed you. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too. All right. You take care. You too. Same time tomorrow?
Same time tomorrow, Mark.